Filmz TV præsenteres i samarbejde med Solid.
Pius et Justus.
Something was out there. Something bad.
Velkommen til Filmz TV. Den 19. april tager Netflix hul på tv-serien Hemlock Grove. En fantasifuld føljeton om en lille amerikansk flække, hvor underlige væsner og dystre hemmeligheder gemmer sig bag byens idylliske facade. På papiret ligner Hemlock Grove måske bare endnu en fortælling om unge forelskede vampyrer. Men baseret på det første afsnit, som vi har set, har serien langt mere til fælles med David Lynch's Twin Peaks end Twilight. Og nøjagtigt ligesom Twin Peaks, begynder Hemlock Grove med et gådefuldt mord på en ung kvinde. Et mord, som får en vampyr og en varulv til at slå pjalterne sammen i kampen om at finde morderen. Vampyren spilles af svenske Bill Skarsgård. Han er søn af Stellan Skarsgård og lillebror til skuespillerne Alexander og Gustav Skarsgård. Alexander spiller pudsigt nok også en vampyr. Det gør han i tv-serien True Blood, og vi har tidligere talt med Gustav om hans indsats i tv-serien Vikings. Og for nylig var vi i Oslo for at interviewe Bill om hans præstation i Hemlock Grove, og om tilværelsen i en familie fyldt med skuespillere.
It's not, Twilight. It's not like it's not one of those like when you hear it's kind of supernatural and werewolves and vampires or whatever. This is just something else. Brian McReevy, who wrote the novel, he started writing the novel in 2006, and back then that was like before True Blood, before Twilight, before all of those things got big. So he didn't write the book to make it popular. He just really liked gothic stories about these kind of mysterious and creepy creatures, and I think he used that to enhance characters. Like you can get more extreme and characters if you use kind of supernatural things to explain it. So you can have but what it comes down to is actually kind of relatable and human dilemmas about identity issues or crises that everyone goes through, but it's kind of amplified with supernatural things. So I think that he rather than the show is not focused on the supernatural creatures per se, it's focused about people. They just have these things that they deal with. Like my character, for instance, his name is Roman Godfrey, and he doesn't know what he is, but and you saw the pilot, you don't know what he's just a very strange kid, and he has to grow in darkness inside him, and that kind of leads to a battle that he has to battle with himself. It's like supernatural, but it's kind of just amplified of making these kind of crises or characters more extreme. I always liked werewolves and vampires as a kid, but I watched films like Interview with a Vampire and American Werewolf in London. Like those films to me was just so creepy and mysterious. It's like it was almost like these creatures actually could have existed, or maybe they exist. Like there was that kind of vibe to it, which made it so much more exciting. Now when it got so popular to a younger crowd, they made kind of like naked men jumping and changing to a wolf in midair. You know what I mean? That's not believable anymore. It's very so that kind of took out the whole mystery to me about these creatures, these mythological creatures that been around for forever. There's vampires have been around for 3,000 years, and old scriptures of these creatures drinking blood. It's like it's a very, very ancient mystery creature, and I think that our show is trying to bring that back, of making it more animalistic and real, and almost like maybe these strange creatures could have existed, or maybe they exist, you know. That's kind of what we're trying to do, you know, and it makes it much more interesting.
But it's interesting, it's another vampire in the Skarsgård clan, you could say. Yeah. Did you talk any bit about that with your brother beforehand? Or
yeah, we kind of laughed a little bit about it, you know. Like obviously, my character is very different from his. But it's funny you should say that, yeah, because like, yeah, I'm a vampire, and Alex plays a Viking vampire, and my brother Gustav plays a Viking. So it's like, you know, vampire, Viking, and Viking vampire. So yeah, it's kind of a theme, I guess, that's going through our family.
Just looking forward to the spin-off where all your three characters meet.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
The vampire, the Viking, and the Viking vampire. I thought too much about how I was going to be received as an actor, because I was like, all right, everybody's gonna be like, all right, the fourth Skarsgård, you know, he's obvious, of course he's gonna be an actor, you know, he comes from, he gets everything free, you know, it's like, he's an acting family, he's born with, you know, silver spoon in his mouth, it's like, so all that kind of like, I thought I was focusing too much of what people would, how they would receive me, and how they would like, how they would judge me, and not about what I wanted to do. So then I was just like, hey, you know, fuck those guys, like whatever they like, you know, I'll do what I want, you know. It's like I can't focus on what some people will say about me, and those people said exactly, a lot of those people said those kind of things, you know. They were just like, you know, he doesn't deserve it or whatever. Of course, it's just because he's a Skarsgård or whatever. And it's like, to me, I was just like, hey, you know what? I'll focus on keep telling stories and keep trying to convince them that, you know, that I'm different, that I'm someone else than my family, you know, that I'm someone else than my brothers, and I'm someone else than my dad, you know. I think I could do something that's, you know, so it's kind of this thing that you're like, and now at this point I just like, you know, I think that I can do something and I can bring something that's different from my brothers. Like they're, you know, 10 and 14 years older than I am, and my dad is like 40 years older than I am, you know. I don't think we compete in for the same kind of roles, and I think that, you know, I just love doing it, and I really want to like establish myself as me, as opposed to someone's brother or someone's son. Now, at this point in my career, it's like, of course, you have this shadow that you want to like, you know, get out of, you know. So and the shadow is pretty big, because it's three of them, you know. It's not just dad; it's my dad and two brothers sitting on him, on top of him. So it's like, you know, I have to grow really tall to get out of that shadow. I really want to do a second season in terms of just like to do right by my character. Like I put in so much work and making him the way I wanted to, and he goes through this whole journey throughout the first season that I really want to finish. You know, I really want to do a second season in order to kind of complete the character. So I really hope that we'll do a second season, but I think, you know, it depends on how well the show goes and how well received it will be, and you know, I hope that we will. And I think that we will, so yeah.
Det var alt for denne gang på Filmz TV. Husk som sagt, at det er altså den 19. april, at Netflix åbner op for adgangen til hele første sæson af Hemlock Grove. Vi er meget snart tilbage igen med reportager fra årets Copenhagen Pix. På gensyn. Husk, at du kan finde alle vores tidligere Filmz TV-udsendelser på Filmz under Filmz TV-fanebladet, og også på videovideo.dk, i iTunes og via vores gratis video-app.